Hey everyone, it is Lakeisha Sheree Jordan, and as I continue in my series Wisdom Imparted from Mom for my littles, they're not little, but they're my littles, my children. I want you guys to be very mindful that this video is literally mostly being done for my babies. However, anyone who is willing to take in information and digest wisdom from someone who has been experienced in the arena of constantly dealing with people and constantly overcoming many of the things that life throw at you, you guys are welcome to get you a plate and eat up some of this wisdom. This particular video is entitled, You're Not Having a Bad Day. So I want to start by reminding you guys that as you move through your day, you're going to encounter some hiccups. Some hiccups are going to be big ones. Some hiccups are going to be small ones. However, if you guys are still in the habit, to my babies and anyone that's watching that might have this habit, if you guys are still in the habit of saying, man, I'm having a bad day. This day sucks because you encountered a moment that may have been hard for you to take in. Get that language out of your mouth, okay? You are never going to have a day that's all bad. You are never going to have a day that's all good. The difference in these days is what you choose to focus on throughout your day. And for many people, one minor situation, they could have gone the whole 7 hours in a day, 8 hours in a day, and life is just moving smoothly. And then all of a sudden, maybe, just maybe, somebody cut them off on the expressway. Maybe somebody decided they were going to step on their shoe. Maybe a supervisor at your job that came in miserable after she or he got told off by HR decides they're going to come down there and try to assert their authority, aka their misery, onto you. And so whatever's happening disrupts your mood. In that moment, it is almost human nature for us to say, I'm having a bad day. But is that a fact? 24 hours in a day and a moment completely shifts the way in which you perceive the entire 24 hours. I want all of you to get in the habit of acknowledging the beautiful things that are happening within your day, especially when you're hit with a curveball. If you happen to be in a situation that seems crazy, and because again, as I do these series, some of my babies are learning about me too. I'm sharing some of my journey. Some of these stories will be familiar to some of you guys. Some of these stories will be absolutely new. However, I want you guys to get into the habit of acknowledging that what is happening in that moment is not all that is happening to you, around you, and for you. What this looks like is, for example, you tend to, let's just say you're parenting. Your child is wilding. And for my business babies, my babies that own their businesses, my older ones, your child is wilding. You trying to close a business deal. You're like, look, I need you to calm down. And then all of a sudden a person might hear you on the phone trying to calm the baby down. And they're like, why are they doing business with the baby in the background? Oh no, this is not the type of business I want to do. This is where you guys have to take in that perception really is everything. How that looks for me is simple. I cannot name a time in my life now, at my old ripe age, cannot name a time in my life looking back where the things that happen in those moments weren't to serve a bigger picture. Case in point, because I have gone through foster care, group homes, I've been homeless, because I've gone through abuses and many things that I managed to overcome, I look back at those things and I say, not only did I survive those things, my future life that I wasn't aware of was on the way, put me into positions to use my testimony of survival to actually uplift other people, to help other people understand that what they were in the midst of in that moment is not only not all that exists, but isn't all that they should be focusing on. So I remember a situation years ago where I had a supervisor at a company that I will not name. It no longer exists in Alaska, but I had a supervisor that was cool with me until she wasn't. And this is how the situation went. I'm coming in bubbly like I always do. If you guys know me, you've ever worked with me, you know for a fact I come in energy on high, positivity on high. That is just who I am. Well, I come in and I have a Bluetooth headphone in my ear because, of course, I'm listening to my praise rap music and my energy is up there. I totally forget. Like at this point, years of having the Bluetooth headphones in to kind of keep my energy, up and keep all the negativity tuned out. It's normal. It's like attached to my ear. I come in and the supervisor goes, I walk into the back. She comes back there and she goes, take that headphone out your ears. My day started off great. I came in, my energy was high. I'm positive. Take those headphones out of your ears. You're not supposed to have that on. This is no good morning. No, how's your day going? No, hey, can I talk to you for a moment? Nothing. Just a demand, a command, like I was her puppy. And so instead of getting offended, I was confused. I had to look around the room. I kid you not. This was me. I had to make sure nobody else was there to ensure that my reality was a grown woman yelling at a grown woman as if I'm your child. And so I just looked at her very calmly. And I said, who are you talking to? Because I don't see any children in here. No yelling, no screaming, no disrespect. Who are you talking to? She goes, I'm just saying, voice still on 10. I'm just saying, take those headphones out of your ears because, that's a breach of confidentiality. I said, ma'am, I just walked in, just clocked in, come straight to the back to put my stuff away. And honestly, this Bluetooth, I forget it's there because I'm so used to carrying it. However, we're not kids. So because you are talking to me with such a raised tone and you are my supervisor, which I respect, I have one question for you. As a leader, are you saying to me that when I am bothered by something, that I should follow your lead and yell and scream and be disrespectful to other people? She stopped dead in her tracks. And if she ever sees this video, she'll know exactly who I'm talking about. She'll know I'm talking about her. She stopped dead in her tracks. She was like, excuse me? I said, yeah, no. By now, her tone and everything, body language, everything is just like, whoo. I said, yeah, no, I'm just wondering because, you are the lead. You're the supervisor for a reason, which means what you do, we follow. You are the example. So I'm just wondering if we should, when we are worked up, start yelling and screaming at people and being disrespectful. She was like, that is not what I'm saying. And I am sorry for raising my voice. However, it could be a breach of confidentiality because we don't know if you're recording. We don't know if anything. I said, well, good morning to you too. First, secondly, I totally forgot this was here and I do apologize because I haven't even taken off my coat yet. I'm definitely going to take this off. I appreciate you for reminding me to do so. She left and we went about our day. And guess what? My day continued to be amazing. I continue to pour into people. And you know what? At that point, she kind of avoided me like the plague too, because she understood you were not going to control my energy. There are many of us, many people who would have taken that moment and went all the way ham. Who are you talking to? You don't disrespect me. I'm this, I'm that. I had nothing to prove in that moment besides that she was displaying poor leadership choices. And because I called her out without ever raising my voice. it was easy for her to just walk away. I'm going to bring this back to the topic. The reason I told you guys this is because many times y'all will take situations like that. That could have been a really volatile situation. You take situations such as that one and you say, I can't believe this broad raised her, but she yelled at me. Oh, because she a supervisor. She thinks this, that, and the third, and she ain't going to be talking to me like that. My day is going great. That moment could have moved me to believe that I had to be negative. I had to have poor energy. I had to be looking over my shoulder all day. And I take it back to the point I made. You will never have a bad day. What I chose to do at that moment was what I chose to do at that moment. And my choice in that moment dictated how the rest of my day was going to flow. Now, because we're human, we want to continue to remain real about the fact that there are some circumstances that will continue to hit us in a day that have us feeling like, dang, I need a bulletproof vest with all the shots coming my way. It might be multiple things throughout the day that have you saying, dang, this day just keeps getting worse. You hear what I just said? This day just keeps getting worse. That's power you have to speak out what you are perceiving in your day. Someone like me can have shots coming my way and literally say, oh, the devil is trying. He has no victory here, because I still acknowledge that I'm healthy. I still acknowledge that I have life. I still acknowledge that at the end of the day, if this supervisor decided to fire me today or tomorrow, they don't control where God has taken me. Do you guys see what I'm doing here? It is not the moment that is created that decides whether or not you have a bad day. It is literally what you choose to perseverate on all day long. So because of that, I want you all to get in the habit, especially when you're hit with all sorts of craziness in your day, of finding a ton of different reasons to remain positive. There are situations where it can be disheartening. You don't disregard the reality of your emotions. I have gone through death of loved ones, which is probably one of the hardest things that we can go through, especially because we naturally care about the people we care about. How did I deal with those moments? It's acknowledging this really hurts. And of course, in the beginning, especially when you're really close to people, it doesn't even feel real. Sometimes you can feel kind of numb to the situation, but you want to stay present for yourself. You want to be in the reality that while there is someone that you love that is no longer physically returning here, you want to acknowledge that God said yes to you and the rest of your journey, that you still have a purpose, that this person who is no longer here will not ever have the same worries we're still left here to navigate through. And we want to be gracious and acknowledging that we love them, that their time here was valuable, and that we appreciate it. But if we can't take that, even that passing, and say, let me focus on the memories. Dang, I miss this person. Let me cry in this moment, but not stay stuck here and depressed. Let me not forget that I'm still here, needing to navigate with a clear mind through all the things that may come my way. Let me be present for me. Let me be present for my loved ones that are still here. Let us be sad together and bring up these good memories. But let us not believe for a second that this passing is all that exists in my day. Let me acknowledge the blessings that are still coming, because while unfortunately one person may have gone, you're surrounded by at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 12, maybe more people who are still here, who still appreciate you, and who still also want you to be present, needs for you to be present in that moment so you can pour into them. So no, you'll never have a bad day. You'll never have a bad day. You may have moments throughout your day where it's disheartening, because even now, reality is simple. I find myself sometime under attack spiritually. I will hear negativity coming like, oh my goodness, you messed this up again, Keisha. Oh man, you're this age and you still haven't made it to here. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Last time I checked, my individual journey was different from, say, my babies, who are way ahead of the game than I am with a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to electronics. This technical stuff is their realm. It's not mine. I'm still missing the typewriter because I'm that old. But because the reality is that these negative thoughts can come throughout the day. It is intentional. I take it back to it being aligned with how real spirit, the spirit realm is. So I hear the thoughts that I didn't put there. I can either hold on to those and be like, oh, yeah, that's right. I did mess up yesterday at work too. It don't seem like I'm ever going to get this right. Or I could turn around and be like, wait a minute. I did mess up yesterday. The same thing I messed up today. Let me go and study up on how to make sure this doesn't happen again. I'm not at work like, oh my God, I'm going to get fired because I messed up 2 days in a row. If I'm going to get fired, this is my energy, my attitude. It has always been this way. If someone decides to come and deliver me the message that my God said it's time for me to move on by way of you firing me, I'm probably going to be super excited because where else we going, Lord? That's my choice. Where else are we? Lord, what door you got open for me? Because you're not closing this one for nothing. That's how confident I am now. It wasn't like that when I was younger. So I am acknowledging for everyone who may still be in the midst of craziness with the job they feel they have to keep. I have to have this job or I'm going to end up, not being able to pay my bills and not be able to do this. Sometimes you're stuck in a place God is trying to remove you from. Sometimes you're stuck in a place God is trying to build your character in order for you to be more thick-skinned regarding the attacks that are coming your way. Acknowledging, you know what? The devil's a liar. The devil is a liar. The Lord said, I will never leave you or forsake you. Okay, so why are you feeling like you're left in that moment? Especially, and again, this is going to go to all my people that are really spiritual, that understand that God is real, the spirit realm is real, and that lean on not our own understanding, but the understanding that we don't know everything. We're literally navigating on a blueprint that God didn't give us the full picture of. So for my babies, because that's what this video is for, I want you to never get in the habit of speaking, I'm having a bad day. You're not having a bad day. You're having a horrible moment. You're having a dreadful moment. But even in that dreadful moment, there's other things that you can put your thanks on. Thank you that I have a job. Thank you in this moment that I have the ability to keep my peace. That'll be a whole nother video worth it. Because a lot of people are unable in this day and age to maintain their peace. So I'm going to leave that for another video. But for everyone that's watching this particular topic, you're not having a bad day. You're having moments that are bad throughout your day that you can choose to continue to focus on, or you can choose to acknowledge that that moment exists. But here are the other blessings that I'm going to put my focus on, like my health being good, or such as me having a job, or like my children being able to grow and be healthy, or the fact that I have a roof over my head. You know what? Despite what's happening in this moment, I can tell you a bunch of things that's not happening. So I'm not having a bad day. I'm having a bad moment, and that's okay. I hope this message reaches you guys and can, be something food for thought at least. I will be talking to you guys in the future, more videos to come. And again, for my babies, I love all of you guys. I will be talking to you later.